Hi, I'm Gabriela Fuentes, Senior Account Manager here at Flexitricity. We're here at this very exciting hydrogen site today to discuss Flexitricity's partnership with Protium. This is a hugely innovative and exciting project for us, as Protium's assets will be the first hydrogen assets to enter the capacity market. The capacity market is a key component of the UK government's electricity market reform, designed to ensure the security of electricity supply. The capacity market ensures that there is sufficient capacity available to meet peak demand, safeguarding against the risk of future blackouts. Participants in the capacity market are paid to ensure their assets are available to respond during system stress events. Most of the time, assets continue their usual operations, but they are called upon during periods of high demand to maintain grid stability. Flexitricity acts as a route-to-market provider for Protium. We have been operating in the capacity market since its inception, and our dedicated team manages every aspect of participation to maximise returns for Protium's assets.
My name is Christopher Jackson. I'm the CEO and founder of Protium, and we are the first and largest independent green hydrogen energy company in the United Kingdom. So an electrolyser is an old technology, in fact goes back over 100 years old. And the very basic principle is that you take water and you take an electrical current and you basically use a series of different components inside a box like this one behind us, Pioneer 1. And really in that process, you then encourage the natural bond between hydrogen and oxygen to separate using a membrane. And then that captures the oxygen and the hydrogen in two separate streams. And that hydrogen then can be used once it's been dried and once it's had any stray oxygen components removed for various industrial processes, applications, or end uses. And the reason why this is relevant for grid services, as you might have guessed, is because we use electricity. So one of the big interesting questions is, how can we take advantage of this wonderful ability to take electricity and to convert it into a form of energy, a stored form of energy in the form of compressed gas, compressed hydrogen, and use that to provide not only dynamic demand, but also then actually be able to come off very quickly as well, so a very quick switch off time. We have the capacity to take on and off the grid up to 2.5 megawatt of demand from a single containerized system. And if we ran flat out for an entire day, we could actually be storing over 1 ton of hydrogen or 33 megawatt hours of stored energy from the grid available for other industrial uses or even power generation in the future. Protium ultimately stands out because we're a company that is fundamentally customer driven in the way that we do everything. And we're also a company that takes risks, I guess, in a way that we are innovative, that others are not. And we use that knowledge ultimately to provide hydrogen as a service. We hope to show the world that it's not just a nice theory, it's not just an interesting PowerPoint, but actually that you can use green hydrogen to make a real difference in decarbonisation. And if we can do it in the UK, we can do it anywhere else.
Grid services have been part of the Protium business model right from the start, mainly as a means to provide access to additional diversified revenue streams. However, historically there have been two main challenges. On the one hand, grid services are inherently volatile and short-term in nature, and there are very few case studies in Europe of showcasing that this can actually be done in reality. Participating in the capacity market together with Flexitricity solves both these challenges. On the one hand, the capacity market provides very long-term predictable revenues, and at the same time work with Flexitricity doing the auction bid and then delivering against the commitments that we made with our bid will hopefully provide the market with confidence that electrolyser and green hydrogen assets can participate in grid services further in the future. Participating in the capacity market is also a way for us to demonstrate that green hydrogen production assets can be integrated into the UK power system in a system-friendly manner. The capacity market enables us or allows us to align the commercial incentives that we have in our production schedule with the technical requirements of the UK electricity grid.
Hi, I'm Lisa Perrin-Short, Head of Supply and Balancing Services at Flexitricity. What's really exciting about working with Protium is that we're only just getting started. The capacity market is a great entry point, but there are so many other flexibility services that hydrogen assets like this one could participate in. Hydrogen electrolysers are a brilliant fit for flexible energy markets. They're responsive, controllable, and offer new ways to support the grid while still delivering for their end customers. We're working closely with Protium to explore things like frequency response markets, reserve services, and depending on the location of these assets, there are other innovative opportunities and services offered by distribution network operators, which may be a good fit.
Power and power optimization are fundamental to any successful green hydrogen project. So we've been out speaking to experts in various areas of the field for quite some time. And speaking to Flexitricity and going through the capacity market process, it's clear these are people that can turn our ideas and actually make them a reality. And also that they share a lot of our same values when it comes to the energy transition and sustainability. To be creative, innovative, and not be afraid to be the first one to try something. I'd say the main concerns we had beforehand was making sure we meet all our commitments that we've made to customers and maintain the reputation we've built up over 2 years of successfully producing and selling green hydrogen. And ultimately that educated our auction strategy in terms of both the capacity we went for and the pricing metrics we put in. And Flexitricity were really helpful in making sure we aligned our commercial and technical needs with the bid.
One thing we always try to stress with developers is, if you want your assets to be flexible, plan for it early. It doesn't always mean big changes, but small decisions like how you set things up technically or how you design your commercial model can make a big difference down the line. If flexibility is baked in from the start, it's much easier to unlock more value later. Managing capacity market participation with this project has been really rewarding, but also a big learning curve for Flexitricity. This is the first time a hydrogen asset has entered the capacity market and the first 15-year demand-side response contract to be awarded. We've had to work closely with people across both policy and regulation to make sure everything stays compliant while still making the most of the opportunity for Protium. It's been a real team effort and honestly a milestone that we're really proud of.
Highlights of working with Flexitricity, I'd say it was the comfort and calmness they gave us during the whole capacity market auction process. It's normal when you're doing something for the first time, you have a lot of doubts about the technical, commercial, regulatory requirements, but their knowledge and experience meant they were able to answer all our questions and make us comfortable to submit what ultimately turned out to be a successful bid.
Hello, I'm Andrew Langlands, Chief Commercial Officer at Flexitricity. I'm excited to share this first of its kind project here in Great Britain, the first hydrogen electrolyser to participate in the capacity market through the first ever 15-year demand-side response capacity agreement. Bringing sites such as this one into flexibility services is never straightforward. There are always technical, commercial and regulatory hurdles, but from the very beginning, both the Flexitricity team and Protium worked openly and transparently. That built trust quickly, and it's that trust which ultimately developed a successful partnership that brought that flexibility into the market. And we're only just getting started. With Protium, we'll be exploring further flexible opportunities that hydrogen technologies like this can participate in. From the balancing mechanism and new reserve services, to wholesale market trading and local flexibility markets. Participation in flexibility markets provides a welcome extra revenue stream, which Protium has been able to unlock through its partnership with Flexitricity. Furthermore, the electrical flexibility that the site provides, as well as the green hydrogen that it produces, is supporting the transition to a low-carbon energy system. Projects and partnerships such as this show that we're not just adapting to change, we're shaping the future of the British energy system.
We love an industry first, and Protium is similar to Flexitricity in that we are not afraid of a challenge. What makes this partnership and working with Protium so special is how open and collaborative the team has been. What has made this partnership work so well is that both parties care about the future of the energy sector and what the tech mix will look like. Both teams hope that this project will set a precedent and encourage others with newer technologies to consider how else they can contribute to the energy transition, in addition to their day-to-day function.
We are going through the fastest energy sector transformation in known economic history, and we need every single tool in that net zero toolkit to get us there. Green hydrogen is an important part of that ecosystem, and we're really proud to have been the pioneers in delivering those projects into the United Kingdom, projects like Pioneer 1, projects like Pioneer 2 in our work with Flexitricity, and now we need to keep going further and larger and faster, and that's what the future holds for Protium. More and more exciting, innovative, market-leading projects that really make a difference and push the dial for green hydrogen and for net zero in the United Kingdom.